started out. with
Okay.
us.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, streaming is kind of.
That's what
Yeah.
No, it should be.
No, I just trying to make sure live streams working, yeah, my tablet's working. just All the things.
So guys, you're on time. The computer don't want to get sabotage one way or another.
You just want to pull out. So, I just said it makes no sense.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 5:45. Sorry.
You're on time.
Oh,
Early.
I know to walk in and see Jewel and Jeremy already here.
yeah, I know.
Just fall, careful, just fall out of that chair.
Felt like I was at church.
Yep, good. I'm good. I'm judged.
Yeah. Well, so live streaming, you have to go through, that is the live stream, but you have to go through the city website to get to it, to register. And then, go through a link that it will send you to. Set up some securities because some other communities have gotten the meetings hijacked. Do you want me to? I should have. Well, she can, if she goes to the city website, she can, okay. Was maybe thinking you guys wouldn't be tag team later today.
The scramble.
You would advertise for 5.
Was it advertised in the paper for 5 years?
It's always
Agenda
five,
says
it's always five, it's
5:45.
always
The
five.
agenda says 5:45, that's correct.
When you get people here.
I get,
Call to order. Special council meeting for October 20th, 2025. Roll call. Roger Cunha,
Present.
John Burchell.
Here.
Wendy Goins,
Here.
Amy Curry,
Present.
Dave Luck,
Here.
Jonathan Kerr,
Present.
Jeremy Bannerman.
Here.
City Attorney Julie.
Here.
Treasurer Darcy Bannerman.
Present.
And I'm here. Okay, let's go to, and while we're here. Next is in Bible.
So I don't know if you wanted to go first instead of me.
I just have, questions on this. From the original one that we have, there's, a little difference in the numbers here. I don't have my original. So
All of those modifications are from your email at 3:30. So that's,
yeah, I just didn't know why, was this a
The
different
sal-
percentage? The original one that you gave us on,
yeah, when you sent me those
Um,
changes at 3:30
well-
today, that changed all those numbers. That's why they're all.
right, I'm just saying, is that, was this one, what percentage you didn't have for like, usually the first one that you sent out last week?
Police was at, the person turned in, broke up among 16 people. That wasn't a percentage. It was a lump sum because they turned in their merit structure. They turned in a person.
I just wanna make sure. They, at this point. Okay, at this point, what we have agreed as far as the negotiations between the city, and I'll start with, police. We agreed with the 3%, increase is the only change in the salary ordinance, period. And if I'm doing this wrong, tell me.
No, no, I was gonna actually kind of go stock them up with you. So that's this spreadsheet that says police department, and if you look in the orange box, you'll see the 3% raise and then the merit structure therein. Supporting what Ms. Donna's talking about. So you'll have one for police. As you go, you're going to have spreadsheets that match what she's talking about.
Then on the civilians was 3%. There was no other changes other than they had asked for the longevity separate check, which had already been, I was told, done.
If employees request it, we already do that.
The other thing is the fire, that was, 7% due to the 14th person, not being replaced. There is money left over that will be to the discretion of the fire department and our clerk treasurer for the remainder would be put in the fire department.
So with those modifications, like I said, you have a spreadsheet, individual sheets, one for the police department, one for the fire department, reflecting all of those modifications that Ms. Donna talked about, and then a revised budget book. And if you look through your budget book, you'll see highlighted yellow lines. Those are the lines that have been modified from the original advertisement to what you're getting ready to adopt. And that, you don't care about that. And then these printouts are to also show you that I modified them in Gateway. We've got that documentation for your records as well.
I would like to say, I appreciate, the teams that met, that were willing to, I'm gonna say sacrifice during this difficult time with the idea that we have a plan in place for 2026 to be proactive and, hopefully get where we'd like to be. Yeah. So thank you, everybody. I know it's not the greatest. We're gonna have to better times. Are
So,
there any
oh,
questions?
sorry. And then the salary ordinance will also reflect all of these changes as well. So your salary ordinance that is on the table, everything on the table is the reflections of the items that Ms. Donna gave me just a couple hours ago. So I had to really scramble. There was no time to get it emailed back out to you. So yes, I had sent an email with information in it. Ms. Donna replied back to that to me, letting me know there was other modifications that had not made it to me until 3:30 this afternoon.
And was everyone included on the information that went back and forth about pool employees and their kind of longevity?
I don't know who I don't know who knew anything. I was given directive from Ms. Donna, and with the shortness of time and you all looking at adoption this evening and adoption of the salary ordinance, I just went to work and I will sit back and you all advise me accordingly.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Sorry, I thought it read a little bit weird in the email, like there was almost a cap at 50 cents for those returning. But it's actually 50 cents per annum.
Up until the max, like 15 was one and.
Yeah,
I forget what that
yeah.
is.
okay. Okay, so that's the salary ordinance.
Well, we're on budget right now. The
Okay.
salary ordinance will
Okay.
follow up after it.
And budget adoption does show the reduction that,
Yeah, thank you
Yeah,
for remembering
so-
to take that.
I don't know what you'd like to share as far as how you came to the numbers between 2025 and 2026, what you were anticipating for funding changes to, possible lit, changes to property taxes, if you want to speak to that.
Well, there was not, again, kind of like just Donna tipped her hat to, there's not a lot to speak to when you get your projected revenue and there's not as much there. Thankfully, we were able to see, just a 3% raise for most of the employees. That increase went to those pay increases, the increase in insurance premiums that the city is going to be paying next year for our employees. And some retirement, the perf thresholds, went up for 2026 as well. So by the time we calculated those in, there really wasn't too much to move around within any of these departments for any other funding or improvements or things of that nature.
On the last page under lit public safety, it shows perf actually decreased on our newest one.
Because those salaries decreased.
Has the police and fire seen any list?
No, they've not seen any of this. This was just, like I said, the directive from Donna came at 3:30. I can't speak for police and fire. I can only speak for getting the information and trying to compile it, in a concise fashion for you all for adoption tonight.
So they didn't do it, as we know, they haven't done their budget in the past, but this year they didn't have any, so they haven't seen their budget.
Previous to tonight?
There's no changes to their budget. I just said that with the increase. So there's things that move around a little bit in the funding, but that's to try to speak to where I've had to move things to other funding mechanisms. There's no increase for these departments.
Sure, but as far as, because they've never really had say so in their budget, I just wanted to make sure that they were okay.
Chief Matson gave me some insight into fire non-revert. And then police, again, just working with, Chief Holzheimer, and Chief Montgomery prior to that. So
So then we don't need to worry about the unions and that portion of, because negotiations affect, like we talked about before with the whole Board of Works. I know Sarah was also involved with Donna.
I'm
I'm
not
just trying
following
to,
where you're going with that question.
okay, so I guess when they had met, which I wasn't a part of, I would think, you know, I talked to Adam before, and correct me if I'm wrong, we talked about like $10,000 being in the physical line for physicals, and you know that physicals are gonna cost you more than $10,000, that type of.
And those were discussed. Now, the numbers that are in front of you, I haven't seen them. I don't know.
And I guess that was what my question was then, if they were okay with their own budget, if he hadn't seen
So
it.
Chief Matson was given the budget book in front of you. He was sent an email with those for review.
Okay, That's what I'm asking. That was my first
Okay,
question.
thank you
is
for
have they
giving me
seen
more
these?
words.
I don't think anybody has seen this. Correct?
Not in a whole like this and not with the modifications you gave me 2 hours ago, no. But the meat and potatoes, which for Chief Mattson is usually out of fire non-revert and then lit public safety, they have seen those. Those have been sent by email to them
And that's
for
what,
their review.
But negotiations is just salary, not
Correct.
their budget,
And,
right?
and
but
benefits.
they should be doing their
No,
own
yeah,
budget,
oh,
correct?
100%.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's kind of
that's
the
where I-
question, like if they're doing their own budget, then I would think they would have either submitted something in writing here or had seen it and gone through it with Darcy. So my question is, have they all seen this and are they all okay with it?
Things were emailed. I did not receive any follow-up and it's time to go before you guys.
Okay, that's what I just wanted to make
Okay.
sure before we move forward that they were okay with it.
They're in the room.
Sure.
I'm not sure what you have. So I can't answer your question because the last review that I had was a blank sheet of paper that I filled in some numbers. I don't know what you have.
So is this something that we can, or we would have to hold another special thing to where it would give them time to go over, or is that outside the salary thing?
So this is budget.
And then budget, yeah. Got me going.
As long as we don't run into an issue like kind of this where people don't know what they have, don't know what they're spending it, which fund, those type of things, as long as I'm not getting that type of feedback and everyone is okay with this, then
Well, I don't know that they do, so to me, I would have them look at it so they can prepare even for the 2026 appropriately.
Well, so there's a couple different things to consider here. First of all, you have what your maximum levy increase is that is considered by the state. So that is what is on your Form 1, that is your budget. How it is broken down between those individual line items is essentially this spreadsheet. It's important that you pass the budget that's been advertised under your Form 1,
Okay,
because then you capture that maximum growth levy.
okay,
If you do not capture that maximum growth levy, you never get it back. Let's say it's $500,000. I don't know what the change is, but let's say it's $500,000.
this is the one previous day.
Well, If it's
Stuff with
500,000,
last year's numbers.
right, then you get next year, when there is a increase on the maximum levy, you're not getting that, you're not gonna get that $500,000 and that percentage increase on that amount. So it's like a compounding loss there. So you'll want to get the budget passed. If there are concerns regarding the individual line items within the budget, my recommendation would be get your department heads this form and say, okay, here's the money you have to work with. How do you want it dispersed? And then you can do transfers throughout the year to properly fund those line items the way.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes, thank
Makes a
you.
lot of sense.
Because I know last year was the first time it was like, let's just vote on this number, and we had seen these before. So I wanted to make sure that we, because I just know when we talked before about different things, like how does the overtime line work at when you increase the salary and those type of things. I just wanted to make sure that we're better prepared going forward as we're all learning together. Thank you. Okay,
I make a motion to approve the budget as presented.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
This is the-
Or veto. Okay.
I've been doing training. I start like off the floor working on Thursday. And I'm done. Zero training. Seriously. I started getting a tour twice. They got interrupted. So I've seen the basement twice. Then I ran into, who actually like walked me around. But if it's the first time you've ever been in there, you ain't gonna remember. Because it's so fucking. And this elevator goes to this floor, but not that one. And this one over here. And I'm like,
Right, so the second to the salary ordinance is in front of you. Modifications were made not only to the things that Ms. Donna sent me this afternoon, but from your last meeting, Amy advised, to put in the other two missing department heads, which were maintenance superintendent and stormwater superintendent. So those have also been added. I'm sorry? Nope, those stayed the same. I was not advised to modify.
Thank you for putting those in there.
No, you're welcome. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. What happens when you go by the employee manual versus where you're at today?
driving ambulance. I get a driving ambulance. That thing's a beast. So a great deal on that truck. The crazy thing is, there's only one helicopter that doesn't use that car. It's out here. Yes. So when they use that, they gotta use another service. No, they use that because staff light comes, they can't use it. IU comes in, I gotta take the cot out and just leave it on the ground. And then somehow figure out how to load that. I don't flank her out. I'll just keep the ropes down and just pick up the phone in there. It's a nice truck though, believe it or not. It's a really good deal on that thing. I just didn't let it sit outside last year and chill out. And plug it in.
Deadline you have- Sure is
You have to set elected officials by the end of the year.
the end of the year.
So if you, normally what people do is they go for salary and budgetary process. Once you set compensation for elected officials, that compensation cannot be changed in the following year, up or down. You can never go below.
Okay, and there were no raises for any elected officials, just so that
Yeah.
I make that clear too, but I just wanted to make sure in case. And I appreciate the two of you agreeing to that as well. Considering the times that we're in.
Yes, no problem at all.
Thank you.
Do we need a motion to read this?
It would be a motion, because this has been advertised and read before, correct? This is second reading of the salary ordinance.
But some of the numbers have changed, so did that make a difference?
So with the salary ordinance, you'll want to say what the changes are and then introduce it to pass as amended.
Did you hear that one?
I'll make a motion to
Thank you.
accept the salary ordinance as a change, as changed, amended today.
And then so she just needs to read out the difference.
Yeah, so whatever the amendments are that have been made.
From the last time, okay. So the amendments are to all structures within the police department.
So a
They went
3%.
they went to 3% from the lump sum that had been previously discussed. Fire stayed at 7. So really, the only modification was your police department, and then the addition of your 2 department heads under the category of incentives, bonuses, and compensation modifications.
And that was on our previous, it's just adding other.
Yes, it was just adding, to add the stormwater superintendent and the maintenance superintendent. Yes, you're welcome.
Need a second. Is it motion, discussion, second? Is that protocol?
So you have a motion on the table for, to pass as amended. You'll need a second to move forward, otherwise we stop.
But when's discussion?
You can have discussion, you can call for discussion after there's been a second to the motion.
After the second, I thought it was after the first. I'm sorry, thank you. Okay.
And I'll make a second.
Are you asking for discussion?
Is there any?
I just want to make sure we knew the format for when, for more, for if any discussion. Sometimes I think sometimes we roll through
Sometimes you get a little bit loose, but if you're looking at
Yeah.
that straight thing, you need a
First,
motion
second.
before you can move anywhere.
the motion, the second discussion, then passage. Okay.
Okay, no discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Nobody?
I just want to thank everyone that took the time to go through this year. I know every year, hopefully next year we can start a little earlier. I know we've been different things that didn't allow that, but I do know that there were a lot of extra time spent on behalf of Darcy as well as department heads and Donna and Wendy on putting this together for it. So I want to thank everyone that was involved. As well. Yeah. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, nobody else, then. Well. Take a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Jeremy.
I'm sitting here still trying to. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
And Gary.